Hi, it's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I'm here in Shanghai in Breakbulk Studios, and joining me is Shahzad Athar from Adani. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Leslie. Thank you for having us here, and it's great. It's a great opportunity for any port operator to be at a Breakbulk event, because as you know, port is an enabler to the whole trade. You know, as Adani, we have done a lot of investment in the port in India. Uh, Port enables not only the state economy but the country economy also.
Now,
Uh,
tell
yeah.
me where your facilities are in India,
Yeah.
right?
So we started with the west coast of India because predominantly west coast is a more industrialized segment for India, and that's how invested. Our flagship port is Mundra Port in the west coast. It's a 200 million ton of capacity, having break bulk container as well as ro-ro capacity in Mundra. Then we moved into the South India. We have two ports in South India now, predominantly for container, but we are now building it for the bulk also. Then we moved in the east coast of India. We have Dhamra port, which is India's biggest draft port also. It's a 19-meter draft in the east coast here. So what it speaks is it allows post-Panamax bulk vessels to come in, which allows the cost to the customers to reduce. So in terms of our capacity, in terms of the draft and marine capacity, what we build the infrastructure is to allow bigger vessels to come to India. So if you see in the last 20 years, the vessel sizes into India has gone up from let's say 2,000 container TEUs to 15,000 containers to use now. So we have actually allowed the trade to be more flexible, to be more interactive, to be more, we removed a lot of complexes in the whole processes, and we keep doing investment in the trade. So not only on the ports, we have also helped on the logistics sides also. We have 20 rail wagons of our own.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And Mundra port is the only port in India runs double stack trains. Yeah, which is there in Canada and in India. So Canada is the pioneer for running the double stack train, and in India, Mundra port does double stack trains into the hinterland.
Ah, I see. So tell us about the infrastructure development over the past few years.
So in the past, if you ask us, port takes a lot of time to build infrastructure, and it is also highly regulated from a government perspective. But in the last 10 years, from a 25 million TEU of capacity in India, we are today 10 million TEUs. So we have added 10 million TEU capacity in the last 10 years in India in terms of the growth here.
So, what kind? We obviously with our industry work with huge pieces of equipment, huge cargoes. What kinds of project cargo are you seeing?
So in the last, since as you can see, India has economically been the largest growth rate. So machinery is one of the biggest commodities which we have seen. Transformers, because in India is going into a big more electricity. So a lot of transformers coming into India. Then we also see a lot of metro projects which comes into India, because India, most of the cities now is now getting into metro. So you can also see in the next past 5 years and the next 10 years, you will see a lot of metro projects coming into India. So a lot of metro trains will come into India.
Well, it sounds like there is a lot of opportunity for our industry across the supply chain in
In
India.
India, yes. Also, not to miss out the windmills, because India will be getting into more of this solar power and also the windmills. So we expect in the next 5 years a lot of windmills also to come into India.
And that takes a different kind of logistics too to handle their. Not only are they oversized, but delicate
Quite
as
delicate
well.
as well. We also put a lot of emphasis on studying the infrastructure, not only at the port, but how does these large pieces get out of the port, because most of the port in India are doesn't have a big approach road for these large pieces to go out. So we have done a lot in terms of improving the road conditions towards the port, which allows these big parcels to come in and as well as go out.
Well, it sounds like you're on a great growth trajectory, and I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having us. Yeah, thank you.